Welcome to the Digital Marketing Tips and Tricks Podcast, brought to you by Siva Solutions, where we love to bring and show our listeners real and proven results.
All right, it looks like we're all set and ready to rock and roll. And welcome to our very first ever Digital Marketing Tips and Tricks Podcast, where here today we'll be discussing, and the topic that we'll be discussing is what makes a great website. Okay, but before we get into our topic for the day, I do want to let you know and leave you with a little disclaimer as well that unless you're doing high volume marketing, okay, unless you're on the first page of Google, or you're doing Google AdWords, or you're doing Facebook ads, or unless people are coming across your website, okay, everything I'm about to mention to you is bullshit. And it's meaningless. It doesn't mean anything for you, okay? Just because you have a website doesn't mean people are going to view it, okay? You have to put that website in front of people so people can come across it. Just like a billboard, just like any type of sign, just like a newspaper ad, just like any type of advertisement that's out there, okay? That advertisement has to get in front of the individual. Same thing with your website. No different. Otherwise, these tips that I'm about to tell you here, I believe I have about 12 of them, doesn't mean anything for you. Okay, so this is just the beginning stages. The very, very beginning stage of online marketing is your website. Okay, and the one question you want to ask yourself, when you're getting ready to create a website or redo a website or build any type of website, you want to ask yourself, what is the purpose of my website? Do I want someone to call me? Am I trying to sell my product? Do I want people to buy it from me directly from the website without ever speaking to me? Okay. Do I want to make appointments? Do I just want to give a free consultation do I just want people to inquire about a quote and I just send them their quote? How do you want to structure your marketing? Okay. These are things you need to ask yourself. These are questions that you need to ask yourself before even starting. Okay, but by knowing the purpose of your website, it gives you an idea of what to put in it, what not to put in it, and how to structure it. Okay, these are very, very important things that you need to be aware of. Otherwise, you're going to learn the hard way. Okay, putting it out there, not working, and being sad and disgruntled, and no one told me, I didn't know, having all these different mixed feelings about it, and then stopping, not doing nothing about it, and then slowly but surely your business fails. Okay, that's not what we want. Okay, so there are certain things you want to ask yourself. Is like the first thing, like I mentioned, what's the purpose of my website? But by knowing this, you're going to understand the very first tip, which is a call to action. What's my call to action? When someone comes here, what do I want them to do? I want them to call me. Like I said, or I want them to buy. So call today. Call for your free consultation. Request a free quote. These are all great call to actions, and you can display them throughout the website. If you have a website that you have to scroll down quite a bit, then maybe you want it at the top, the middle, and the very bottom. Okay, multiple times. So it just depends how you're structuring your website. But that's one very important thing for your website, and it gives the user an idea of what to do as well. If you don't lead people, you don't guide them, they're going to do things that you don't want them to do. Okay, and that's typically they'll end up leaving, and you never even knew that they came across your website. Okay, so tip number 2 is video is king. The more video you have on your website, the better you can do, and the better conversion rates you can have. People don't like reading anymore. People don't, they won't read. And if it's too difficult for them to read or too much to read, they get tired. They don't have time, to sit around and read a lot of educational stuff, even though it might be important. People just aren't going to do it anymore. So the more video you have, the better it is. And the quicker someone can make a decision on if they're going to call or, send a request or whatever. Okay, and tip number 3 is you do want to have a good logo. That logo is your brand. It can lead to other forms of online marketing and really branding yourself on social media as well. So that logo can set the tone for the website as well. The colors that you have in that logo, feel free to use those same colors throughout the website. It can make everything flow very well together. So, having a good logo, making it stand out, even having a good catchy slogan underneath that logo as well, that sets you apart from your competitors. Maybe it might be a little controversial, your slogan, okay? But something easy, sweet, simple, something that someone's going to remember. You don't want it long. Like I said, keep it short, sweet, and simple. Okay, but this is what can set you apart. Look what Nike did. Just do it. And then their logo with, the Nike sign. How simple that was. And look, literally, they made, T-shirts, and people were literally saying that everywhere, during that time period. So you want to do the same thing for your online marketing as well. And like I said, it can start with your logo and your slogan, and that, that's the brand. That's what people are going to remember. When you think of any big corporation, what do you think of? First thing you think of is their logo. So that logo is very, very hot. It's important. It could be one of the most important things, that I discuss here in this podcast here. Tip number 4, you want to make your website as easy as possible to navigate. The less tabs, I believe, the better you'll be. And like I said, if things are too difficult for people, they're not going to spend the time and the energy to navigate it, to find it. If it's not there right in front of someone, they're going to go on to the next one. Okay? If they're not intrigued within the first second, 2 or 3 seconds, they're off to the next thing. That's how people are nowadays. That's why, I want you to have good punchlines and good highlights. Things that are going to trigger someone to take that next step psychologically. You want, you're triggering people's brains to stay on your site, to keep learning more about your business or your services or your products, and you need to keep them going. So by if you are going to have text on your site, I don't recommend having a lot of text. The less, the better. But if you are going to have text, make sure everything you say is a highlight. It's a punchline. It's something that can take that person to the next step and keep them going and keep them intrigued. Okay. So tip number 6, you do want to have good third-party reviews as well. Now, these reviews, that's what I said is third-party reviews. If you have a Facebook page, a Google business page, a Yelp page, another website out there, another page, could be another social media page, it could be another directory or citation website. But if there's a review out there and it's on another website that's not yours, take that review, link it to your web page. The more of those that you have, the more credibility and trust that's building for you and your business. Okay, and it knows that these are real. They're real people. You can see you can see their profile, their picture, their face, and some people can connect with those reviews. They know that you didn't take that review or that testimonial and just put it up there. You made it up. They know that the user knows that this review is a real review, and this can be, this can take your business to the next level if your testimonials and your reviews are used properly. And it can help with the SEO as well, linking it back to your website, making it easier for Google to make sense of all the stuff that's on the internet about you and your business. Okay, so these reviews can be great. They can take it to the next level. So for tip number 7, maybe underneath those third-party reviews, you want to give a promotion or a special or some type of offer, maybe even a bonus. If they take action today, maybe you'll give them some extra stuff. Give them a free course or whatever you're selling, whatever you're, proposing with your website. Give them something a little extra if they take action today. It can cause that sense of urgency, and it could be the whole reason why they contacted you rather than one of your competitors that was very similar to you. Maybe they had the same credentials. Maybe they had, the same product, but yours, that bonus or that special is what made the difference. Okay, so having promotions, having a good bonus can get someone to take action today. So that's always good to have as well. And these next 3 things that I'm about to outline here for you are literally 3 things that every website should have it. If you don't have these 3 things, then you might be doomed, from the get-go. So for tip number 8 is you want your website to be mobile friendly. I know that sounds pretty nonchalant and pretty cheesy, but you'll be surprised how many websites are out there that are not mobile friendly. And probably about 80% of people, if not more, are viewing everything on their mobile device nowadays. Okay, so if you're making people zoom in and out through their mobile device, your website's not working. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to, you've got to upgrade. Okay, so that's the tip number 8, mobile friendly. Tip number 9, make sure your website's secured. Google is literally telling people now which websites are secured and which ones aren't. If your website is not secured, it's going to say at the very top, not secured. Okay, so make sure it's secured. People don't want to leave information on a platform that's not secured, where they don't trust if what you're going to do with their information is going to be kept safe. Considering now that things are out there that these marketing companies sell people's information. Okay, so with that being said, you want to give your user, your customer, a sense of peace of mind that their information is in good hands. Okay, and tip number 10, this is a fairly new one. In the past, people have not really, they weren't really highlighting this or basically letting people be aware of it, but it's make sure that your website is accessible to all types of people, even people with disabilities, people that are colorblind, people that are hard of hearing, that they can see your website and come across it and have a chance to see your business. So you do want to have some type of widget or some type of technology on the back end of your website that lets people with disabilities view your website. Okay, and it can open you up to a whole level of people out there that you never thought would even come across your business, your product or your service. Okay, and for tip number 11, you want your website to tell a story. You do want people to know that how you're involved in the community through maybe nonprofits or simply things that you do personally. If you're a runner, you're a hiker, maybe you go to a certain gym, maybe you're part of the church, anything that you are a part of throughout your community that you do, you might want to highlight that on your website. You can connect with people. The more ways that you can connect to anybody, the more chances you have that someone's gonna pick up the phone, call you, and want to go into your office or go into your business or buy your product or your service. It's all about connecting with people. It's all about trust. It's all about credibility. I can't say that enough. And that's all you're doing by having all these points and all these tips that I'm outlining here. All it's doing is creating trust, credibility for your business. Okay, and the more of that you create, the better and the more higher conversions you're going to have, and you're going to make and you're going to get the most out of your online marketing dollars. Okay, and the last tip, is have another form of way that the user or your customer can contact you. Yes, they can always pick up the phone and call you, or get that quote by picking up the phone. But some people are too busy. Some people are working; they can't pick up the phone at work. So give them another way to contact you. Have a good contact form near the bottom, or maybe even towards the middle of the website, depending on how everything is laid out and structured. But give users multiple ways of contacting you all in a good contact form with a good extra layer of security on that contact form that lets people know that you're not going to share their information or give it away to anybody can really make a difference. It can get you more inquiries, more people contacting you guys, not just people calling. So you get a little bit of everything. People inquiring through the website directly, emailing them back and forth, or taking that to a text. Or if you have a texting service, put that on there as well. So if they can't call you, they can text you. If they can't do both, then they can send you an email. So there's always a way to get in contact with you and with your business. The more ways that you give for your users to contact you, just the better off you're going to be. The more conversions, the more people you're going to get inquiring. All right, so I hope these tips really help you guys out. Feel free to take some notes, replay this back and forth if you need to. Every week we will be doing at least one podcast. I'll be following that up with the video as well for those people that like to not only hear it but also see it. So keep an eye out for my next video as well. We'll put that on our YouTube channel as well. You'll be able to get a visual, and I'll definitely show some examples as well of what we've done and how you can apply those to your business, practice, or small business that you have. So till next time, take care and take action today.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit civasolutions.com to listen and watch more resources about today's topic.